How you doing? Welcome to the celebration of a wonderful woman's life, my mom, Judy Lund.
Yes.
Honestly, I wish I wasn't standing here today welcoming you all. I wish I was home at East Carolina University recruiting for next year's basketball team, where we hopefully win more than 10 games. I wish Zach and Nicole were back in Austin, Texas, where they started their lives together. I wish you all were doing whatever it is that you do on a typical Saturday afternoon. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And most of all, I wish my mom and dad were over at the Tiki Bar after a round of 18 holes, where my mom claimed after hole 8, "I hate this stupid game." Enjoying a cocktail with you all. Like I said, we're here today, and looking around the room, it's incredible, and we shouldn't be sad because we should all feel nothing but joy for having the opportunity to have known my mom. The other day, I drove down to Clemson, South Carolina to watch the spring football game. For those who don't know, I attended Clemson, and we've won 2 football championships in the last 3 years. Zach, how many has South Carolina won?
More!
0? Oh, okay. Anyways, on my way, I found a playlist called Road Trip Tunes, and I hit shuffle, and I promise you, the first song that came on was Hey Jude. And in that moment, I got the most intense goosebumps, and I just started bawling my eyes out. In that moment, I could truly feel my mom sitting in the passenger seat, telling me to slow down, even though I was only going 2 miles per hour. I think in situations like this, it can be easy to think about all the things in life that will never happen. Like how my future wife will never know her mother-in-law, how I'll never get to have my mother-son dance, how I'll never get to hug her and hear her say she loves me again, how she'll never get to be a grandmother. And on that note, how incredible a grandmother would she have been? She would have spoiled my kids and Zach's kids rotten. And I'll admit, these were the thoughts that flooded through my head when my dad first gave me the news on March 9th. But then I started to realize that I should be grateful for the things that did happen. The countless I love yous, the warm hugs, the home-cooked family dinners, watching football and basketball together, working on science projects, car rides to all my sports practices and games, funny Snapchats, escape rooms, mini golf. I could stand up here and list things for hours. I don't know how she did it, man. I really, truly don't understand how she did it. She sat through more hours of watching me play basketball, football, and soccer, and Zach acting in school plays or something. than I can even comprehend. It was whether we were 5 years old and struggling to hit the ball off the tee and running around like idiots, or when I was a student manager at Clemson. I didn't even play. I sat behind the bench and I gave the players Gatorade and towels, and she still watched every game and would tell me how proud of me she was after. In fact, she even encouraged and helped me get better every day by taking videos of me. Okay, now imagine doing that every day for hours and hours and hours. And I would call her out for that, and she would never once complain. And you saw that, I promise that wasn't just to show off my pogo stick skills. That was to show off how willing she was to just whatever, Mom, watch this, Mom, watch this. Anything I wanted her to come watch, she would drop whatever she was doing and walk outside and do it. So I think it's really rare to have a mom who not only comes to all those things, but never once complains or shows any kind of irritability, at least outwardly. One of my favorite memories with my mom was in 2015 when I was in a very tough time in my life. At the end of the year, I had a very bad experience with some weed, or the devil's lettuce, as you older folks might call it. This started a period of terrible anxiety where I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't leave the house. And luckily, I had my mom and dad there to help me through the whole thing, because she would just be there to cuddle me, to make me a smoothie because I couldn't eat solid food, or to just lay and talk and listen to me cry. And at that point, I really didn't think I could leave the house, much less, that was in 2015 when Clemson was in the college football playoff versus Oklahoma and Miami. And my dad told me we had tickets. And I was like, I really don't know if I can do this. But I got in the car, Xanax in hand, and we drove the 2 hours, and we get there and we're tailgating, and this, in hindsight, pretty sketchy looking guy comes up to me, my mom, and my dad, and he's like, I have lower deck tickets for you guys. What do you have? We said, we have upper deck. He says, I'll trade you the lower deck for your upper deck plus $200. And my dad, being the the guy he is, he said, okay, sure. So I'm like, all right, awesome. We have tickets in the lower deck now. This is great. So we get up to the thing to check into the gate. The line's probably 400 people long.
Thank you, friend.
And the guy scans my ticket, and it doesn't do the dee-dee. It's like a boop boop, like a bad one, a red thing flagged on it. He does it again, boop boop, does it again, boop boop. And he started to look at the lines, like getting very antsy, a lot of drunk people. He's like, you know what, just go through. So me, my mom, and my dad, we go through. We're section 169. We get to section 168. We keep walking, section 170. We walk back, 168, 170. So we go up to a guy who looks officially as an earpiece, and we're like, hey, can you help us find our seats? And he goes, that section doesn't exist. So he takes us down to this really, really nice, a room that looks something like this, like just bar with free food, like all these rich looking people, kind of like you guys, enjoying cocktails. And he's like, all right, you guys sit right here, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. So he leaves us, he says, take some bracelets, you guys can enjoy some food and drink while you're down here. So he comes back 10 minutes later and he goes, yeah, these tickets are fake. And immediately my mom springs into action. She starts crying her eyes out. She's like, oh, this is your birthday present. Oh, this is your birthday. And you can tell the guy just feels really bad. And he's like, all right, you know what? You can stay in here. You can watch the game in here. You can enjoy it. And so my dad's like, damn, I really want to go out there and watch the game in person. So he runs up to our old seats that we sold the guy. And they're empty. And he calls me and my mom. And he's like, all right, guys, run up here. You can sit here. And I'm like, Dad, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Look down at the sideline. And he looks down, and me and my mom are standing there waving at him like this. And we ended up sitting in the seats that were for the people that are so rich that they don't even show up to the game. So we had recliner seats at the 50-yard line in the first row with free food and drinks, all because my mom put on a show and started. And we asked her, Mom, were you really that upset about it? She goes, no, I was just acting. So that was, that's one of my favorite memories I'll ever have with my mom and dad. And my mom not only touched the lives of those she knew, she even had an impact on those she didn't. For those who don't know, and talking to a lot of you tonight, it seems like most of you do know, I'm trying to pursue my dream to become a college basketball coach. I'm currently a graduate assistant at East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina. And while I was working there, I started in September, I'd always wear my I Heart Judy Lunch shirt around the office, so the staff knew kind of what my mom was going through and how strong she was being. In February, we played a game at South Florida in Tampa, and it was just another game, but then it wasn't. During pregame warm-ups, they told me to go out and rebound for the guys, but when I got out there, no one was out there. And I turned around and I saw the whole team running out, wearing the I Heart Judy Lunch shirts. And it completely broke me down, and even ESPN did a segment on it, and I have that segment right here.
An incredible start for the East Carolina Pirates. They come out firing, and they lead 17-7 over South Florida. And it comes after a very emotional pregame. You see the T-shirts, I love Judy Lund. Mike O'Donnell, you are all over this.
Yeah, the mother of graduate assistant Robby Lund is going through severe stage 4 cancer treatment right now, and the entire team surprised him by wearing I love Judy Lund T-shirts and shoot around. Robby had no idea that the team was doing that, and he completely broke down, started crying. It's an emotional moment. He had no idea the team was doing this, and just an incredible gesture by the coaching staff, the players for East Carolina, and Judy Lund. If you're listening, if you're watching, you have our thoughts, you have our prayers. Keep fighting the good fight, and we will continue to have you in our thoughts and prayers throughout this game and the rest of the year.
That is what teamwork,
No question.
is all about. And no coincidence. Pirates on fire here to start.
We lost that game. But yeah, to me, basketball, it's less about wins and losses and more about things like that, where you see the true character of the people that you're working with every day. And I learned a lot that day, and I'll forever be grateful to every person that was on that team for what they did for me and my mom. And I would just like to wrap up by saying, when Mom passed, I saw a few people say that my mom lost her battle to cancer. And I guess that's the common nomenclature. But I don't believe that my mom did lose her battle to cancer. I believe that my mom beat cancer every day and landed her final knockout punch on March 9th. She beat cancer because cancer did not take away any of the things that made her my mom. It did not take her sense of humor, her compassion, her love for her family, her joy, and everything else that made her the wonderful and beautiful woman that she was. So congratulations, Mom. You beat cancer. Thank you.